Hey everybody, welcome to this big Starport. This is Jason here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. And today's report is for December the 31st, 2025 through January 6th, 2026. Oh my God, it's over 2 years. Not a whole year report because, well, things change so quickly and yada, yada, yada. But as usual, we start with our sun, and the sun is quiet. There are no solar flares or coronal mass ejections currently heading our way. There are no coronal hole streams that are currently Earth facing. And there is only one sunspot to be concerned about. Sunspots obviously are the things that cause flaring and then sometimes CMEs if they flare and release. But with that, with nothing happening, that means that there's low solar energy, which does a couple of things. Usually our atmosphere is propped up by solar radiation, so it stays large. So when it goes low, it becomes even weaker. That means that we are more affected by the stars, even when the sun isn't doing anything. But we are currently 1 week away from the solar uptick. It goes on a 5 week cycle where it goes down and then goes back up. So we're in that low spot, which is probably why there's nothing happening. But that doesn't mean that that one sunspot can't flare, but nothing to really worry about. It's a small one. So if it does flare, it probably won't be horrible. Um, yeah, so that 5 week cycle starts back up or upticking again next week. Yada, yada, yada. Currently, we are in the zodiac sign of Capricorn, which is still the lower three vertebrae of the sacrum, commonly understood to be where the Kundalini stays coiled up until we activate it, or until it's activated, or where it gets its source if it stays activated for you. Which is usually sort of prepped by a couple things. Sound can do it, usually not. Breath work, meditation, yoga, exercise that sort of compresses the pelvic floor, sort of undergirds that and helps that out. So pay attention to that. Last couple of days of Capricorn coming up. So we are currently in 3 retrogrades, at least for part of the week. We start off the week with Chiron being in retrograde. Chiron being a tiny little microplanet. And Chiron has us discerning our self worth. That's almost over. I believe it is the third. So we'll talk about that when we get to the third, until it goes direct. And so that expanding of self worth is really sort of contemplating, the inner world that we have, where we're sort of like, are we worth all this kinds of stuff? Uranus in retrograde till February. Is still in retrograde, shifting realities. So, what kind of world are we living in? What's what? Who's who? What's really going on? In most of that contemplation should be who are you? And therefore, through the lens of what you decide you are, is how you will see the world. So, when you're deciding new realities, you're really deciding on new you. Also, Jupiter is in retrograde. Am I even recording? I am. So am I even recording all of a sudden? I was like, I didn't know if I hit the button. Jupiter is in retrograde until March. And Jupiter is about the planet of expansion. Usually that's sort of could be reputationally, but mostly it's like abundance, right? So if you're trying to grow your wealth or you're trying to grow your business, that's usually good. And then growth in general, sort of spiritually, it's an expansion of here's how I've been operating. I could be this, or I have this potential, and how do I get to that? So that's stuff that happens when Jupiter is in retrograde. And then, of course, that's the contemplation of it. Sometimes that's a little bit of the preparation work. And then when it goes direct again, that's when all that expansion that you've decided upon happens. Leads us into today. Here. Oh my gosh, how country do I get? I did grow up in South Texas, so maybe just a little bit country. Anywho, here in Brenham, we had a water main leak, and so we were all on until this morning, just lifted. We were all on boil our water kind of stuff. So that's just sort of an interesting thing to sort of happen. Usually, water is associated with emotions, and of course, buried water main lines are underneath the ground. So those are sort of hidden emotions. So this sort of speaks to, in general, not a diagnosis, but that there were a lot of hidden emotions that we weren't dealing with, and sort of they came to the surface. And then, of course, the remedy for that, regular water below the surface. And then while we were doing that, they told us to boil it, right, which turns it into steam, right, which is about raising your consciousness to higher things, not clamping down in regressing, not regressing, going backward into tradition or holding on to things that you need to let go of. So that's an interesting sort of thing that's going on here in this town. Um, do with that what you will. But it's over now, right? So it's only a day and a half of contemplation of that. Leads us into today, Wednesday. It's the last day, the 31st. It's the last day of the year. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that December 31st was the last day of the year. It's the end of a universal 9 year. And sort of besides being glad it's over, really that kind of focuses particularly on the conclusion and discovery of all of the family karma that you've dealt with over the year. Whether that's family secrets that came up, whether that's rearrangement of the nuclear family that you sort of have, all the kinds of things about what it means to do that. And so da, 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 da. The idea of the ending of that or the discovery of all that stuff is that you can start a new universal year, number one, tomorrow. Also affecting us today is going to be the moon's alignment with Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And it can really have you contemplating new organizational habits, which is what a lot of people do around this time of year anyway. Spending time with family should be good. The moon in Gemini with Pluto, and the moon with Gemini and Pluto could have you struggling to balance your emotions, um, tending towards temptation to tip the balance in your favor, right? So this sort of emotional thing is once you've sort of recognized in this, there's the temptation rather than find balance, but to sort of balance it in your scale. Because maybe everybody in your network hasn't been contemplating or working on themselves. And so maybe you're like, oh, I've been working on myself. I think I'll figure this out and take a leadership role, which is not necessarily bad, but you need to take that leadership role to balance everybody else out, not necessarily to your own advantage. Although, hey, do what you want. Is that all I said about that? Yeah. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. And of course, cautionary tale, it's your perceived reality, right? So all of these discoveries you made about yourself might not have been a universal discovery by the entire family. So pay attention to sort of how that goes. I think that's everything for today, Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, the January the 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. The universal 1 year is sort of a year that all of this work we've done on ourselves, all this cycle we completed, 9 year cycle. So what's 9 years? So that was that 2016, 2017. Pay attention to sort of all the things that shifted since then, or what you've been working on, or sort of that arc of your reality that sort of happened since then. But the universal 1 year is really about an awakened presence, right? You were spending all this time, contemplation, understanding, spiritual work, physical work, reorienting your, I guess, your community. It's sort of an awakened presence. Now that you're awakened and you're here, be in the now is really what it is, because you're going to be building something new, right? It's a new 9 year cycle. Managing the balance of personal power and nihilism, right? So a lot of times when we become awakened, we're like, what does it all mean? Or it means everything, or it means nothing. And so that's that personal power, like knowing yourself is a personal power, but knowing yourself and then sort of seeing through narratives or contemplating perceived reality sometimes leads you to like, well, what's the point kind of stuff. That's nihilism, in case you're wondering. So there's a balance to be had by that. And of course, if you're going to create a new 9 year cycle, maybe the direction of choice would be towards personal power. Not it doesn't mean anything, right? Because other you don't want to start the new 9 year cycle stagnant and going, oh yeah, fuck it, shit. Yeah. Oh gosh, what was his name? Totally forgot his name. That was a reference to him. Please still be up on my Google. Oh, you're not up on my Google. Isaiah Whitlock passed away today. And so he is most known for saying shit. He's in a lot of things. Great actor, nice dude. But that was his one liner. And so anything he appeared in, they like to put that line in. So there you go. So watch out for nihilism. Shit. Anchor your soul and avoid the turbulence of change, right? So if you're anchored in yourself, right, all of these things can shift and meanings can shift, but you stay anchored to your own divinity, to your own power, rather than being moved and powerless in other people's narratives. The Mercury is also going to be squaring Neptune on Thursday, and that can increase the psychological effects of alcohol. So watch out for your parties if you still partake of alcohol. Uh, that sort of psychological effects could also lead to, might be, among other things, dysregulation, right? So manic depressive kind of stuff, and then also depression. Mercury is also going to be moving into Capricorn, and that's going to increase your logic, right? So hopefully you can sort of find that main sort of balanced vibe, and then your logic can sort of keep you from teetering or tottering and going along with stuff that doesn't make sense for you. So that'd be good energy on a Thursday. That is, of course, the day after the party because everybody parties tonight. So it's just a watch out for tomorrow if you do partake in celebrating tonight. Friday, the 2nd of January 2026, the moon's going to be squaring Saturn and Neptune. And it's going to sort of leave a euphoric, not euphoric necessarily, but a disconnected feeling, sort of hovering, like, where am I going? What's the next step? And sometimes you sort of feel this after a workout, like, oh, that's really great. But you're sort of like that sort of numb, high feeling, like disconnected, like you've which happens because when you work out, your body breathes heavier and you're actually moving more spirit through the body. But anyway, I can sort of leave you feeling disconnected. The other thing that might be going on with that square is digestion or gut issues. So pay attention to the party food and, of course, the alcohol, which might mess with your digestion even further because the stars are going to mess with it. The moon moves into Cancer, which is uh, you're looking for ways to reduce anxiety and stress. Um, like vacation or move into the country kind of stuff, right? So you'll be contemplating, like, how do you sort of reduce your own stress? I was like, what did I write that about? The moon is also going to be opposing Mercury, which means good spiritual guidance and gifts are available, right? So if you're sort of like trying to be spiritual into the new year and you're sort of like going through all the motions and you have things to do, then definitely Friday is that stuff where spiritual guidance is sort of available. That means the veil is a little thinner. Maybe you find somebody in physical reality that you sort of like read their books or whatever, but they're available to you on Friday in an increased sense. Leads us to Saturday, the 3rd of January 2026. And so Saturday is really going to be an interesting day. Speaking of all this new change, what you're creating in a new one year, Saturday is J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. So it's a good day to imagine a new reality for yourself, or imagine a new world, or imagine a mystical world where things aren't cut and dry and based on data and interpretation of that data, but there might be something happening beyond all the data that we see. The full moon on Saturday is going to be opposing Venus, which has you deciding if you're deeply passionate or deeply suspicious, right? So that sort of energy is, are you deeply passionate about what you're doing, what's going on? Are you deeply suspicious of possibilities, others, resistance along the way? So it's that sort of teeter-totter balance that we sort of had at the beginning of the year already. The full moon in Cancer can leave you indecisive. So that sort of balance beam is really you're at a place of indecision. And so my advice would be to decide one way, right? You could always readjust at just the beginning of a 9-year cycle. The moon is also going to be opposing Mars, and that could energize you towards a little bit of conflict. Everybody getting in their Mars, or positive view of Mars is that it helps you have the energy to push through, right? If you're dealing with a lot of shifts, or you're visiting family, or your holidays extended, or maybe you're annoyed with the work's fixing to start back up in a couple days. That's the energy to sort of push through and complete all the things at the end of the holidays you need to get ready to make this push to do this expansion to create the life that you're dreaming of. Yeah. Think of new patterns that you want and act accordingly. Chiron goes direct on that day, right? So that idea of self worth, what you decide you are worth, you're worth, right? So it's going to move forward. So you should act in not passivity of your worth, but in proclamation of your worth. Sometimes that goes along with asking for raises, job changes, stuff like that. I don't know what I said right there. Well, man, my handwriting's terrible this morning. I must have been writing fast. It must be the holidays, and I'm just trying to catch up and stay above water. Anywho, oh, yeah, the moon conjuncts Jupiter also on Saturday, and that could help you expand or make some financial gains, right? Whether that's you saved money because you didn't go and do all crazy things, or maybe it's you have an idea that you want to work out, which leads you into Sunday, January the 4th, 2026. The moon trines Saturn, and it's really good for business and financial decisions on that day. Um, Decision making, right? You don't, I mean, who's open on Sunday? Not a lot of people in downtown Vernon, Texas. That's for sure. Anyway, jobs, new businesses, new locations, where you can do your job someplace else, maybe a work from home situation. The moon's also going to be trining Neptune, which is increases your active imagination to create something, right? So not only are you working with the abundance of the universe, but you're also having an imagination with that new self-worth with Chiron going direct of like, what can that look like? And this is really where you sort of expand your possibilities, right? You've probably been working through here, like if I do all these things, this can happen, but it's because you thought or ruled out other things of better possibilities. So those are the kinds of things that could pop up on Sunday. Something you never dreamed of could be possible. You really want to lean into that Neptune energy and sort of trust that inspiration. And also, the moon on Sunday is going to move into Leo, which gives you the courage and confidence to actually act on like, hey, I'm not a crazy son of a gun. Shit. Anywho, Monday, is that all I had? Yeah, Monday the 5th, quiet day. No, nothing shifting. It's all fine. Uh, it's a good day for self-reflection on Sunday's inspiration, right? And since nothing shifted, that sort of inspiration that you sort of come up with on Sunday is still sort of there in the air. It hadn't moved away, it hadn't gone away, right? So it's actually like a 2 day sort of expansion and imagination into doing something different and new. So that's good for you. Leads you into Tuesday, last day of the reports, 1/6/26. So that'd be January 6th, 2026. The moon's going to be scoring Taurus, which is going to, wow. Oh my goodness, my voice is going out. Moon is going to square Uranus, which will tend towards making you headstrong, right? So it's a good thing, right? So if you're making all these changes and you're like, I don't know, or somebody's like, that's stupid, and you're headstrong, then you can sort of push through and like, hey, I'm going to keep doing this. However, it's also sort of a cautionary tale, not a cautionary tale. It's a instructional tale where other people's information could actually be beneficial and guidance, right? So they might see other parts of your dream that you don't, and so maybe sort of highlighting that can make you sort of able to choose better, or highlighting something you've missed might make you be able to go further because you have all the steps or information. So just sort of pay attention to that. The headstrong thing is a good thing to keep going, but the headstrong thing is also watch out that you're coachable while you're changing. Wow. The sun is also going to conjunct Venus, which is going to supply you with optimism and love, right? So, hey, man, this is all going to work out. It's all going to be fine. I'm a divine, eternal soul worthy of love and affection. Shit. Can't nothing resist me. I love saying shit. That's one of my favorite things. If you ever been in the shop, you probably hear me say shit. Anyway, so sad that guy's gone. Anyway, well, oh, the world or source is creating positive energy for you with that sort of Venus energy, Sun conjuncting Venus. The moon is also going to move into Virgo, which is going to help your physical form embrace being healthy and health conscious. So all the energy is really moving towards your divine eternal soul, your really love and affection. Your physical form is expanding and healthy. Your divine imagination is leading you into the correct places, and the world will shift according to your own shift. And you've done a lot of work. The universe is kind of rewarding, and it's the new step into a one universal year. So everything should turn out great, especially if we expect it to. That's some logic right there for you. If you expect good things are happening, right? We always get what we look for, right? So look for the universe to actually moving in your favor, give you good things, lead you on your way, reward you with abundance and love. That sounds great. I'll expect that. Until next time, everybody. I should be here at the shop today, which is New Year's Eve, December 31st. Of course, you haven't seen this yet and posted it, and I'm already past 11. So if you're already knocking on the door, I'm back here recording because I got here late. Because why? It's a holiday. Nobody's rushing. Maybe they are. Who knows? Anyway, I'll be gone all week in the shop besides today. I've got New Year's places to be. So I will be back in the shop again next Wednesday after today. And so if you were looking to come today. If not, we'll see you next week in the new year. Happy New Year's, everybody. Many blessings. I forgot to get ready for the button. Anyways, until next time, everybody, many blessings.